Alright, hello everybody, welcome back to Mass Effect Andromeda. Back on Aya after some time. Although, granted, I was here not long
Honor to
ago,
meet you,
but...
Pathfinder. Initiative Pilot Marixus. I run supplies to your outposts.
What brings you to Aya?
Your survival supplies only Aya has. I'm waiting on clearance to enter the city, but it's taking too long. I understand their caution, but the outposts need these supplies. I have to get them, now.
They let me into the city? I can help.
I appreciate that. To start, EOS needs a way to produce food to support population growth. They've requested Kiloa seeds to begin their own crops. There's an agricultural scientist who might sell some.
I'll make sure to get those seeds.
Settlers on Angara are suffering from a bacterial infection. They need Angaran antibiotics to fight it. A medic in the city should be able to help.
Got it. They'll have that medicine in no time.
Alright, so two things. Not too difficult. I think I already know who to buy the seeds from, and for some reason it's showing me that he still has another quest for me.
Pathfinder, more of your outposts need help, if you have time. Vol's power grid is lagging without proper solar input. The solar amplifier would give them a boost. The solar technicians here may have the required parts.
I'll see what I can find.
Okay, now we're done. Alright, 3. I was like, really? 2 out of 3 things. It's like, man, Volt is good, but I guess not. Alright, so that's... Oops. Oh, excuse me, fellas. Did not mean to do that. Lost control of my legs there for a second. We'll go and turn this in. I will need to check my map to see where all the quests we need to turn in are, because I know we need to go to the embassy. I know there's a couple other quests that we still haven't picked up. I know we had, like, 4 quests, I think, to turn in here, but when I was back here before looking for mods and
You're always a welcome sight, Pathfinder.
there was quite a few.
Still no word from our search vessel.
Marks for new
How
quests.
goes your hunt for the missing satellites?
Your people caught scavengers from Kadara port stealing them. There was a fight. Your ship lost.
I sent them out. And risked your life, too. The scavengers, Angaran? Have our deserters preyed upon us again?
Oh, fuck, you know, I don't actually remember.
The criminals were my people. Exiles. They ripped your satellites into scrap. I brought what's left.
The Initiative is supposed to explore, not steal and kill. Why would your people steal something that protects us all? Murder those who are only trying to help.
These were a few bad people. There are thousands of good ones out there.
How can we tell the difference? Maybe the others are right. What if you are no better than the Ket?
These scavengers abandoned the Initiative, just like your deserters left you.
And we hate them too. Keep what your people stole and go. I can't talk to you anymore.
I mean, here's the thing. How do we know the difference between you and the
Sorry
Rotar?
to hear things went south of that Angaran astronomer rider. Found a silver lining, though. The scrapped satellites are going to come in extra handy.
Not as handy as what we could have had, but I'll take it.
I mean, once again, it's one of those things where it's like, there's no point in lying. I mean, there's a decent chance that that'll come out at some point. I mean, most shit does.
You work on the solar panels? Do you have an amplifier for solar energy?
Nothing as big as these, but I have a smaller one on hand. Do you need it?
Yes. Why, thank you. It's a weird-looking item, but whatever. Okay, so that's one thing for him. Is this the embassy? It is. We'll go do this one first. Obviously, we're not going to go back and turn these in until we're done everything else on here. I mean, he is back near the ship, so there's no point in turning these in beforehand.
Weird question. You don't have any Kiloa seeds, do you?
Yes, I do. Need some?
I'd like to know where people store things in this game. Because, I mean, it does bug me a little bit how we carry around stuff. Now, you could say it's some kind of, like, compressed storage, you know? Quantum storage. I mean, they have quantum computers, quantum communicators. They could have some kind of quantum storage. But I don't think that they ever explain in the game that I can remember, like, how they store it.
Ambassador, I trust our people had a smooth transition to Aya. The Angara have been gracious. Everything's going well.
Good. Keep me updated. 10 out.
I've never lied to a director before. Pathfinder, it's a pleasure. I'm Ambassador Riala, Chief Diplomat for the Initiative on Aya. I was removed from Cryo specifically for this. Quite the wake-up call.
I know what it's like, jumping out of the cryopod and into the fire.
You've had it far worse. My condolences on your loss. I hear you're to thank for our new ties with Aya. This is our best shot at an alliance. Now we just need to keep our people from wrecking it, no matter how hard they try.
If something's wrong, I need to know.
Maybe you can help me fix it. A Solarian botanist named Sorvis Len is here, learning how to improve our crops. He sent an urgent comm, saying a member of the Angaran resistance had threatened him.
What happened?
I'm not sure. Sorvis is an excellent scientist, but not the best communicator. I'm concerned this could escalate if someone doesn't look into it, but I don't have the staff to spare.
I can go settle things. I'm a friendly face for both sides.
That would be helpful. With any luck, we can prevent this from getting worse.
Aside from Sorvis Len, is everything okay? Need anything else?
Actually, yes. Director Tan gave me a project. He wants more Aya natives to live on the Nexus. He thinks it will deepen our partnership. A few Angara expressed interest, but none of them will agree to live on the Nexus without speaking to you first.
Why me?
After what you've accomplished? I didn't want to bother you, but you asked. I'll point you towards the candidates. If you could convince them to transfer, I'd be grateful.
What's our end goal for Aya?
A strong alliance is all we can ask for. It's what we're working toward. Helios is the Angara's home. They dictate the terms of this partnership, not us. We need them as allies, and they could benefit from us. But we have to tread lightly.
Show them we're not invaders.
Historically, when two civilizations meet, one consumes or destroys the other. We need to break that cycle.
I mean, but isn't the cycle broken with the fact that the Solarians, the Turians, the Asari, the humans are all here working together? I mean...
How many of our people have they let into the city?
A strictly limited number, and only certain professions. Scientists, engineers, and scholars. The Angara have agreed to allow some of our people to work in Aya's research facilities.
That's huge.
It's more than I expected. Tan wants me to push for social visits, but I'm holding my ground. We need to move at their pace. They've been extraordinarily gracious, all things considered. I'll take whatever they're willing to give.
That's all for now.
I'm here if you need anything.
Alright. So let's see. Where's our next thing? I also don't know if... Okay, yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if the moving the people, I didn't know if they were going to be marked or not. But I guess they are. Alright, so now I think when you talk to these people, it's not just talk to them and they will move. I'm pretty sure that you do have to convince them in some way.
You're one of Ambassador Riala's candidates to live on the Nexus.
I am. Glad you finally showed up. Let's get down to it. I've lived my whole life wanting to meet aliens who didn't want me dead. But my family's here. How can I stay in touch with them from the Nexus?
You'll have ways to send them text messages and comm transmissions.
I want contact with the people I love. You offer machines. Not good enough, Pathfinder.
You know, I am going to risk this and see where it leads me. Because, yeah, these guys, some of these guys, they're not... Yeah, oh.
At my age...
Okay, fucking 12:40. Yeah, so this has got to be like right after probably I talked to What's-Her-Face and got the quest. Because unlike Sniper Elite, if you watched that Let's Play for this week, this game actually knows what a fucking checkpoint is.
Pathfinder. I've been practicing the language.
Well, that's good. You know, you are their ambassador. It'd be weird if you didn't learn their language. Granted, with universal communicators or translators, I mean, I don't know how useful it would really be. I mean, that's one of the things, right? Like, learning a different language when you have universal translators is really, like, barely worth it.
You're one of Ambassador Riala's candidates to live on the Nexus.
I am. Glad you finally showed up. How can I stay in touch with them from the Nexus?
You can send messages, talk to them on the comm. We'll even arrange a visit.
You get it. All right. I'm in.
I mean, just because you're moving to the Nexus doesn't mean that you can't, like, that you're not allowed to leave or that other people aren't allowed to come visit you. I mean, like I said, people are weird. It's like, it was pretty much like he wanted to see what my answer was, even though he already knew the answer to it. I mean, although I guess, you know, it's like, oh, you want me to move to the Nexus, but I mean, move the whole family there, right? Like,
I can't work under these conditions. What does it take to be left alone?
Ease off. I'm here to help. You reported that someone in the Resistance threatened you. Tell me exactly what happened.
I didn't know Riala was sending the Pathfinder. I deserve no less, of course.
of course.
I was measuring the photonic dispersal from the canopies when some random brute interrupted me. I asked him to move, and he got nasty. Said it was my fault his friend was dead. Ridiculous.
Do you know what he meant by that?
He ranted nonsense about a vessel and selling slots to outsiders. He got right up in my face and compared me to a cat. He wanted to kill me. I could see it in his eyes. The whole conversation made no sense. I think he was inebriated.
Sounds like there's more to this. Don't suppose you caught his name?
Didn't ask, didn't want it, didn't need it. When he left, I tagged him with infrared dye from my sample kit. Invisible to the naked eye, but not to a scanner.
I'll scan people around the Resistance headquarters. See if I find him.
You're supposed to represent our interests on Aya. Go, represent. I have work to do.
Yeah, he's not really the best communicator, is he? He's really kind of a dick. Okay, so let's go up here. Before I talk to her, I will slap a save down. Just overwrite that, because that's the one that I was using to reset the merchants earlier.
Pathfinder, Ambassador Riala didn't think you'd have time for me.
She said you needed to talk before agreeing to live on the Nexus.
This is the opportunity of a lifetime. I'm an anthropologist, but I've only ever studied my own people. I've heard the Nexus is home to multiple species and cultures. It will be fascinating and possibly dangerous. Bacteria, viruses, other contaminants. My family worries about me. Are you sure I'll be safe?
I mean, I could just go, you bet. But I don't... Well, fuck it, let's see.
They wouldn't let me on Aya if I was a walking petri dish, would they?
You aren't taking this seriously enough to satisfy my family.
Damn it,
I
see?
can't go without their blessing. I'm sorry.
See, and that's why I saved it, because like I said, I mean, it doesn't make sense. Like, a lot of the time, it's like the answers you give them are not... Ugh, God.
I'll try to get my family's permission to...
Fucking Christ, game. Stop saving every fucking... Too many checkpoints in this game, sadly enough. It's so weird to switch from Sniper Elite that has basically no checkpoints to this game, which has a checkpoint every time you fucking do anything.
Pathfinder.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Bacteria, viruses, other contaminants.
We'll take every precaution. But entering an alien environment is always a risk.
I appreciate your honesty, and so will my family. I'll convince them to let me go. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, where's museum
Hello,
lady?
Pathfinder.
Hello,
Hello,
Bella?
Pathfinder. Any good news for me?
Is this Angaran? I found it on one of your homeworlds.
Son above. It's an ancient Ravan, a musical instrument. It uses Angara's body energy to produce music. We have them now, but nothing this beautiful. The songs it played were probably lost long ago. How much culture have we forgotten? Art, music, stories, it's all gone.
You're already rebuilding. Look at Aya.
We have a long way to go. In any case, relics like this help us.
I'll come back when I have something.
Stars guide your travels.
Okay, so that was one of the quests that I came here for. Talk to the Moshai. Should I do that now, or... I think I'll do that one yeah. Nah, fuck it. We'll do it now. Just because, like, I don't know what that does, you know.
Effa should have come to me.
Shh, Uxul, I'm all right.
You almost died. What's he doing here?
I asked the Moshai to set up a meeting. I don't want us to be enemies.
Is this true?
Uxul, Ryder rescued me from the Ket. He risked his life to...
Sloane Kelly saved Kadara. Look how that went.
I want to be allies. Equal allies.
You don't even treat your own equally. Isn't that why the Krogan left?
How did you...
I've been watching you. You're invaders just like the Ket, except less cautious.
What does that mean?
You'll know soon enough. Do not trust them, Chauvin.
Uxul... He didn't used to be like this. He was curious, brilliant. But the Ket, even without exaltation, they change us.
There's still time to bring him around.
I want to believe that, but his hatred towards aliens...
I'll prove we can be trusted.
I hope so.
Ryder, we just received an emergency recording from EOS. Come to the meeting room when you get back to the Tempest.
Alright, so that's obviously with Dickhead, or has something to do with Dickhead. What is this? Begin dictation. After years of staring at these vault plans, so much of it still remains a mystery. Not that we haven't tried, still, after what happened, maybe it's best we leave the vault alone now. We spent so long on Aya striving to learn whatever we can about the Remnant and their amazing constructs. I see our future in these Remnant plans. Call it intuition, scientific intuition, if you will, but I've marked it down here for posterity. We'll see what unfolds. The question isn't how the Ket genetically modify us, but why. If exaltation is their reproductive process, Ket are a model of inefficiency. If they can transform one life form into something so radically different, then surely the Ket must also be capable of creating clones. Why wouldn't that provide more satisfactory results, especially for such a xenophobic culture? The goal of incorporating useful genetic material from other species into baseline Ket genetic material doesn't fully explain the level of effort they expand. Exaltation is a lengthy and labor-intensive activity. What I witnessed at the facility didn't feel like mass production, it was almost religious. There's so much about our enemy I need to understand. Yes, it is insanely religious what they do, because like she said, if you can do that, there's no way that you can't clone people. I mean, and it would be weird if it was like, oh, but cloning is illegal on our homeworld. It's like, but kidnapping other races and turning them into Ket isn't. Like, I don't... it makes no sense whatsoever. Alright, no, actually to be in the Resistance headquarters for it then. Alright, so anybody here have some dye on them? Man, I hope I don't actually have to spot it myself and it'll just like light them up and be like, hey, this guy has the dye on them. Because if I actually have to spot it myself, I could be in trouble. Oh, what about you? Well, he said brute, which leads me to believe it's a dude. Oh, scan that, why not?
Sam, what's this?
A decontamination console for visitors to the med center. Touch the start pad to use it.
There we go. Now I can get the meds that I need.
My people on Kadara are fighting a bacterial infection. Do you have antibiotics?
Of course. Will this do?
Yes, it will. What it is, I have no fucking idea. But yes, it will. Alright. This. Oh, okay, so it's just going to let me know when I'm close enough to him. Okay, well, checking here. So that would make sense. Did light up again.
I detect the infrared dye Sorvis Len used to mark the person who threatened him.
That's...
I know why you're here. The botanist. You want an apology for what I said to him.
I only have one side of the story. Tell me yours.
It's hard to explain.
Try me.
Aya isn't big enough to give everyone a home. We each live here a short time and then move on. For someone to come, another must go. The exchanges are chosen at random. We call this arrangement the Vassal, time of change. It worked well, until now.
I'm assuming the person who gets to come in is chosen at random, but the person who leaves is probably a first come, first out kind of deal, right?
The Vassal never accounted for outsiders living on Aya.
There's only so much room. When our leaders agreed to make a place for your people here, it came with a cost. My friend won a place on Aya, but he sold that slot so one of you could stay here instead.
Sold it how? What did he get?
Comforts for his family, resources to improve their home on Haval. He always put others before himself. That's how he died, fighting Ket on Vold. When I found out, I was angry. Said things to your botanist I shouldn't have, but I'd never hurt your people.
He thinks you want him dead. Tell him what you just told me, and let's move on.
Thought I was clear the first time. Maybe his translator malfunctioned.
I'll talk to our ambassador. See if we can minimize our impact on your Vassal.
We don't expect things to be easy. Only that you understand, nothing is free for us.
Alright. So yeah, like as you saw there, you know, like every time somebody shows up here, which I think we went through a little bit with Jal. I think we did talk to him about that for a little bit at one point. I just don't remember how much detail he went into. Alright, I think this way is faster to get there, and then we'll talk to her, turn in the things, and hopefully we can go to the VidCon before the half hour for this part is up. Like I said in the on Thursday's video, to get everything recorded today and not have to do any tomorrow, I am making slightly shorter videos, so they should be about a half hour.
Welcome back. Any news on what happened to Sorvis Len?
Do you know about the Vassal? The Angaran lottery that decides who gets to live on Aya?
I've heard of it. Why?
Angara are selling their slots to come here, so our people can stay in their place. Including a member of the Angaran resistance. He was killed on Vold. Wouldn't have happened if he'd been here.
No one told me of this arrangement. Well, we have to do something.
We could let Angara who give up their slots live on the Nexus. It's safer than Vold.
Exactly what I was thinking. No one should suffer on our behalf. Thank you, Pathfinder. I'll forward your proposal to Director 10 immediately.
That's all for now.
I'm here if you need anything.
Also, wasn't there one more person we were supposed to convince to leave? Oh, they must be at the port. Okay. Yeah, alright. So yeah, that was easy enough. Once again, that would be a thing. I don't know if it has very much impact on this thing. At most, we'll probably get an email about it as to whether or not he decides to go forward with that. I mean, if he says that he wants Angara to live on the Nexus to whatever, like we're doing this quest, like this whole quest is to get Angarans to move to the Nexus, right? So I mean, he should be all for it. It's like, hey, somebody gives up their slots, you can come live here, right? I mean, that's would be a thing that would help this along. So I mean, it's understandable. Now, once again, I will make a quick, quick save. Boop boop. Talk to Salero.
Ambassador Riala said you're thinking of moving to the Nexus.
Pathfinder, I'm honored even to be considered for the transfer, but I won't be happy as just an observer. I need to work. I engineer power systems. Will I be allowed employment alongside your people?
See, I'm just going to go with it.
That's the whole point of this exchange. The Nexus needs people like you.
That's all I needed to hear. I'll have your ambassador start the transfer. Thank you.
Look, finally, one that made sense. Okay, so I did that. And I think we're good. I don't think that we have to check back in with the ambassador with that, because obviously if they've decided to move, they'll do that themselves, so that makes sense. Chat up Marixus here.
I found Kiloa seeds for Eos. Is this enough?
It's perfect. I'll make sure Eos gets them.
Here, I have the antibiotics for Kadara. Will the settlers be okay?
Once they have these, they'll be fine. I'll make sure they know who to thank.
Here, I found the solar amplifier for Vold.
They'll be happy to see this. No more power outages. Thank you, Pathfinder.
Alright. So that covers that. He's satisfied. All of my quests on here are cleaned up, but actually a little bit faster than I expected them to be. Not by much, mind you. I did kind of expect this to just be, or to be this entire part, so. Oh, God. We'll go to the VidCon here. Chat to the Rokar asshole. Oh, I realize I am trying to get on my side, so maybe probably with the Rokar asshole may not be the best way to do it, but not like anybody hears me say it. As long as Ryder doesn't, that's what counts. Alright.
All systems
we'll
green.
check the email as well. The email. Nothing. Alright. I wasn't sure. I mean, we did do some quests, and there are quite a few emails in this game after you do quests, so figured I'd give it a shot. It's still kind of weird to me how few crew members you have. I mean,
Pathfinder,
like, I think Mass Effect was the only one who really made... Well, no. And by Mass Effect, I meant the first one. But I'm trying to think how many crew members you had on 2 and 3. And I think you may have had some, but I'm not sure. 1 is the only one I remember actually seeing, like, a bunch of crew members, so...
Suvi, play the full distress call from Prodromos.
Right away.
This is the Initiative Outpost Padromos on Eos. We're in need of assistance. Tempest, this one is for you. We've got hostiles inbound. No ground activity, but there soon will be. Pathfinder, we need you. Going dark until it's resolved. We're not giving up Eos again. Out.
Could use more information than just hostiles and the worry of escalation.
Could be he's worried it's not a simple attack. If someone's willing to risk attacking Prodromos, your first outpost...
They're trying to make a point. That's the last we heard? Nothing else?
No rider, but also no alarms. The orbital buoy isn't showing any major traffic. Bradley's military, all about the prep. I bet it's a brownout to present less of a target.
Keep the nav fresh. I'll be on the bridge soon.
Understood.
Alright. So obviously next part, we will start by going to Prodromos. And dealing with the Rokar. Which should, I think, complete Jarl's mission here. His personal... What is it called now? Loyalty mission was in 2, I think. I don't remember what these ones are called. Just allied... This allied mission, right? But yeah. We obviously won't have time to actually do that since I'm making a shorter part, which is a shame. Because I don't think that there's a whole lot to that quest once we go there. But obviously that'll be for next part. So next part we should be able to do that, and then I think that's all of our random miscellaneous quests. We'll actually be able to go to the new planet. And since, depending on when I get to record next week, since I made short parts this week, I might make a little bit longer parts next week just to make up for it. But that will be it for today.
The distress from Prodromos is repeating.
We need a closer look.
I hear that.
Okay, well, let's actually just zoom in and see. Does it tell us anything here or not? It doesn't. Alright. So yeah, that'll be it for this part. Thanks everybody for watching, and I will see you next week for more.